What's up, everyone? Ken here from Pop Culture Junkies. It's been a while. Happy to get back to making some videos. Wanted to talk with you guys this week about Superman and the Authority and why I'm really loving this miniseries and where Superman is going. But in order to do that, we're going to have to talk about Action Comics 775, potentially the best single Superman story condensed into one issue. Let's go. Alright guys, welcome back to Pop Culture Junkies. We're going to talk today about Superman and the Authority. And like I said on the intro, I'm going to talk to you about Action Comics 775 to give you a little history, a little basis for where this story came from. Got a little bit of a new layout, hope you guys enjoy it. So let's start with Action Comics 775, and in order to do that, we have to start with the Authority. The Authority came out in late 99, I want to say, maybe wrapped up in 2001, right around that era. Was a Wildstorm book, was essentially ultra-violent anti-heroes of a sort. Heroes who really just kind of asked the question, what if we didn't have to do what society wanted us to do and we just did whatever we wanted, right? We could blow up countries, we can do whatever we want to exert whatever kind of rule we want to bring about whatever we decide is justice. And what happened was it sort of set up this era in comics where people were really questioning, like, is this the future of where things are going to go and the way these stories are going to be told? What place does Superman have in this world, like this big Boy Scout? And this comic really dealt with that question. To start, just want to put this out there. This isn't an episode to slam the Authority or fans of the Authority. I bought the books. I love the books. They were great stories. A lot of people like to point to single issues as to why, like, this critique of that doesn't work because of this single issue. This is critiquing the ideas behind the Authority as a whole. You really have to be able to accept the Authority did some critiquing of its own around comics and of Superman and heroes in general. It deserves that critique back in a fair way, and this book did as good of a job as Authority did in its own right. And so really what this story set about was, there's a group called the Elite. They were really an analog of the Authority, and they really just came into the DC universe, were again hyper violent, killing criminals, doing whatever they wanted, and asked the question, why do we need a Superman when we could have this? Long story short, of course it's Superman, so he wins in the end, but did it in a really fantastic way that really showed why we do need this character. So cut to the modern day, years later, and we have Superman and the Authority. And so what's happening here in this story, Superman has been depowered in a sense. His son's taking over the Superman mantle. Superman and the Authority in this book has a very, very Kingdom Come style look. It's a mix of Kingdom Come and Tom Strong. Really love the look of Superman in this book. And what he's doing, long story short, is he's putting together a team, and it's members of the Authority, including members of the Elite, right? This is Manchester Black from the Elite, who were the Authority analogs. Putting them together he's got a plan, and I don't want to spoil too much of the story. That's not why I'm not saying what that plan is. Really, this book is kind of a love letter from Grant Morrison to Tom Strong. It's really, Superman in this book really reminds me of Tom Strong. And if you don't know who Tom Strong is, he was in a series of books written by Alan Moore. If you don't know who Alan Moore is, you should go out and buy everything he's written, and you should read it before you watch anything else about comics anywhere. He's probably the greatest comics writer of all time. And that's coming from someone who really thinks Gaiman's the best writer of all time, but Alan Moore probably is the best. Tom Strong was essentially a Doc Savage kind of pulp hero redone in a modern era, and had a super strength, and was also a scientist and multiple other things, right? And really just had a great set of stories written about him. I don't want to go down the Tom Strong stories because this is all about Superman and the Authority. And so Superman in this book, though, really reminds me of Tom Strong. So for those of you that have read Tom Strong and enjoyed it, that's what this Superman is. It is Tom Strong as Superman. Morrison is one of those writers, for me, who can get a little wild and crazy and be really hard to follow. The great thing about Morrison is he's wild and crazy. The bad thing about Morrison is he's wild and crazy, and he can kind of get out of control the longer a book goes on, and it can just be very difficult to follow where he's at times. So I think this 4-issue mini did a great job of containing Grant Morrison's wildness and really telling the story. And here, for those of you who are familiar with Tom Strong, you can look at this and just see the character here. And so Superman's putting together this team to take on this task that he can't do alone, and he believes these are the right people. And so it's really a coming around from these two opposite ends from the early 2000s are now really coming around together to accomplish something. It's a really, really neat closure or growth for everyone involved. It would have been great if it could have been Jenny Sparks and a lot of the other Authority. I guess she's not Jenny Sparks anymore, but it would have been great if it could have been the classic Authority. But this one's fine. The Manchester Black callback to Action 775 is really good. So I can see why they went this way. Apollo and Midnighter are there. To give you a sense of like Apollo and Midnighter, they're Superman and Batman analogs that are in the Authority. The real difference is, Apollo literally just melts people with his heat vision when they're fighting villains, right? Midnighter, who's essentially sort of the Batman analog. Batman uses violence as a tool. Midnighter just enjoys violence. He's like a mix of almost like the Punisher and Moon Knight, and just enjoys wreaking havoc and violence on people. And that's kind of that difference that was coming into comics in that time, and people really, again, asked the question, why do we need Superman? Action 775 did a great job in telling that story, and then it leads us back around 20 years later to this team up of these groups. So this was a 4-issue mini, came out this year, 2021. It finished up last month, I want to say in October, and carried through into the main books. This was really kind of a bridge for where is Superman, because like I said, John is taking over the mantle of Superman in Metropolis. And so in the main DC universe, where's Superman? Well, he's here on this mission with the Authority. And so this is telling the story of where he is, what's going on, what they're going to be doing. It goes into another Secret Files issue. Highly, highly recommend this mini. I think DC is really trying to make happen what they had planned, that they wanted to do with Future State back when it was originally planned. I think they're trying to make some of those things happen. I will be interested to see if they keep this version of Superman. It would be awesome if they did. It's a really unique take on the character. He'll probably get back to closer to normal at some point, but it would be nice to see this version of Superman stick around for a while. It takes away a lot of the usual tropes that Superman has. Superman's a difficult character, right? Because one issue he struggles fighting Solomon Grundy, and the next issue he just flies through a sun so he can push a planet out of the way. It's hard how do you scale that back? That's why you get the stupid arguments of like who would win, Goku or Superman. Clearly it's Superman. Goku fans are just dumb. So yeah, just giving you a preview of the covers here. It is, like I said, a 4-issue mini. The latest issue was actually this Batman Superman Authority special. This one's great. It has some great interactions where Batman really thinks Superman's making a mistake, and the Authority really get to kind of prove themselves to Batman. There's some great interactions between Midnighter and Batman. It's a really great next step, and really has me looking to pick up this storyline and see where it continues to go. Anyhow, really, really great miniseries. If you like the Authority, if you like Tom Strong, you will like this book. It's a very unique take on Superman and something different and something drastically different than what they've done before, and I really hope they continue it with the character, and I think you'll enjoy it. This was just a quick one, guys. Really wanted to spotlight this issue, wanted to test out some new equipment, this whole new layout. If you like this content, hit like and subscribe. We'll try to bring you some more reviews of some more books and miniseries like this along with our other videos. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.